I was able to put together a great start, a great acceleration, and a finish like Noah Lyles. So I'm ready to go even more later on in the season.
Noah Lyles being talkative in front of a camera is nothing new. Even more so when he just won a race. Like he said,
getting the win is number one always. After that is, how well did I execute it? How well did I go through the acceleration phase? How smooth did it feel? Did I feel like I had to stumble anywhere?
That's a good thing, at least for him.
Very excited for that, because now it just means, okay, I have the rhythm. I'm just gonna carry it through the rest of the year and just add more intensity, more speed, more power.
If he gets even faster, it will be no time before he finally breaks Usain Bolt's world records. The 27-year-old is more than confident that he has what it takes to break the Olympic legend Bolt's 200-meter world record of 19.19 seconds, which has now stood for almost 15 years. Speaking about the record, Lyles said, "I know that I'm going to break it." He added that he could not care less about what other people think. Because they don't know me. They don't know my story. They don't know what I do. They don't know how hard I work, how talented I am, he explained, before adding, "But I know." Of the 10 fastest 200-meter times in the world since the Tokyo Games 3 years ago, he has run 7 of them. "I'm going to motivate myself regardless," Lyles continued. "I'm going to win regardless. I didn't need a rival at Worlds to run 19.3 because there was nobody close to me when that happened." Just so you know, Lyles' closest attempt at breaking Bolt's long-standing record is 19.31, a US record he set in Eugene in 2022. While one of his ultimate goals is to break world records, both Bolt's and his eventually. He claimed that although he looks up to Bolt, he would not let his admiration of the Jamaican icon cloud his record-breaking goals. For years now, Lyles has made no secret of his ambitions to eventually break Bolt's world records in the 2 events. You can admire someone, you can respect someone in track and field, in any sport. But if you start letting them become your idol, then it becomes a point of, you're gonna put them on this pedestal that you won't be able to break, he said in an interview a few years back. If you put Usain Bolt on, this amazing guy, he broke the world record, he did all this stuff, but it's not impossible to break that record because he had to break somebody else's record. With that, Lyles expressed his respect for Bolt, referring to him as a great athlete. "I feel that I can respect the man," Lyles shared. "He's a great athlete. I love how much of a showman he is. I like to take that on into my characteristics when I run. But at the same time, I'm coming for his records. As you know, he is someone who, once he has his eyes set on something, is going to do everything he can to achieve it." Frankly though, Lyles still has some way to go if he is to top Bolt's best times. That is not to say though that Lyles is not getting closer year after year. As mentioned, that is only one of his numerous goals. The American sprint champion is also an advocate for change in track and field. Unfortunately, although he has tried to play the hero, he has been labeled a villain instead. The 6-time world champion has without question shown his commitment and passion for the sport, demonstrating on numerous occasions that he's the best male individual brand for the next few years. This is seen from both his consistency in winning and his demeanor of transcending the sport. However, doing this has come with its fair share of challenges. In a recent interview, he has made his feelings about this matter known. "You're either changing the sport and changing something people love and they hate you, or you're just going along with everybody and they love you just for going along with the flow," he said. Being fully aware of his villain and controversial tag, Lyles remains focused on remaining true to himself and his passion for the sport. His contagious personality on and off the track has directly and indirectly brought more fans to the sport. Needless to say, the world and Olympic 100-meter champion has found a way to bridge the gap between his constant vision of wanting to transcend the sport and being more than track famous. The fact he is coping with it and indeed inviting it in is already commendable. What's also remarkable about him is that he has put equal focus on both goals, advocating for improvements in the sport and winning. Case in point, Noah Lyles was among several Olympic champions who headlined the third stop on the World Athletics World Indoor Tour, the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston. There, the Olympic champion ran 6.52 seconds to run the fifth fastest time in the world this year, adding another victory to his belt. Notably, this is the fourth year in a row that Lyles has won the 60-meter dash at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. Also for the fourth year in a row, Lyles and Holloway both showed up and won at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. It didn't escape people's attention that neither of them was quite as sharp as usual. Holloway's 7.42 winning time was the slowest of his 4 victories, while Lyles's 6.52 winning time was his slowest since 2022. Still, they both did their job as champions and icons of the sport, and it's a good thing they did. After all, the recently concluded New Balance Indoor Grand Prix is one of the first major tests of the 2025 professional indoor track season. More importantly, the 2025 New Balance Indoor Grand Prix winners didn't just take home bragging rights, they also cashed in. First place pocketed $3,000, with second and third snagging $1,500 and $1,000, respectively. And so, obviously, Lyles earned both bragging rights and the prize money. But that's not all that he did there. After competing, Lyles pulled off his bib to make a bold statement to Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill. The back of his bib read, "Tyreek could never," signaling back to when the NFL star challenged Lyles to a race via X. There is no official confirmation on whether this duel will take place, but Lyles expressed in his post-race interview that he is ready for any and everyone who dares to challenge him. When you're ready to actually put some words down and you're actually ready to race, see me. Lyles said of Hill to Lewis Johnson on NBC Sports, "I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. But all I know is your football season's over. You ain't got no excuse now." Hill responded an hour later, posting, "Get a load of this guy." Well, that guy already had 2 wins as of February, with his win in Boston being the second. Noah Lyles launched his track season in late January, posting identical times of 6.62 seconds in both the heats and the final of the men's 60-meter at the RADD Invitational in Gainesville, Florida. It was the American's first race since winning gold in a thrilling 100-meter final and claiming bronze in the 200-meter at the Paris 2024 Olympics. Lyles recovered from a poor start and went head-to-head with training partner Udodi Onwuzurike, holding on for a 6.62-second win in his opening race of the 2025 season. He matched his time in the final, dominating ahead of compatriot Caleb Dean, who clocked 6.68, with Nigerian Onwuzurike also repeating his qualifying time of 6.70 seconds to finish third. Moving forward, Lyles' goal is to transcend the sport. That means doing everything he can to take himself and the sport mainstream. The next stop on the World Indoor Tour will be the 117th annual Millrose Games at the Armory in New York City soon enough. Will Lyles finally be able to break Bolt's world records? We'll have to wait and see. For now, see if this athlete appears to be a strong contender this season.